Jai Shri Gurudev. Our next lecture video is on stress in chain links. Chain link is also one of the example for the chord beams, but it contains two semicircles and another one straight portions that we call as a chain link. The example for chain links, we have seen the dog chain, anchor chain, gold chain, bracelet. They all comes under this type of shape or structure. This is called as a chain link. Now now consider the chain link. Okay, in the subject to an external force, F tensile force, right? It's usually the chain link is a circular cross section at a radius from the center of curvature is R, is also called as center of curvature, or simply it is R. When this is inner fiber, this is outer fiber. When it's subject to an external force at the end here, now there are two critical cross section. One is at AA, another one is at BB. Then you have to determine what are the stresses occurred at cross section AA and BB, right? And length is the distance between the two semicircle centers, right? Now see the bending moment at a point of application of load at section AA. The bending moment at the point of application of load. Where is the point of application load here? At section AA. Then what will be the bending moment at AA is, you know, the bending moment is force into perpendicular distance. When you go for derive this, is finally you get this equation. And bending moment at point A at section AA is Fr times of 2r plus L divided by 2 times of pi r plus L. That is, you can see in the data handbook 25.76. Then what will be the bending moment at section BB? That's R, the 90 degree away from the loading point, a point of application of load. That is, bending moment at point B is Fr 2r minus pi r divided by 2 into pi r plus L. That is 25.77, where R is nothing but RC. The remaining procedure is same as the closed ring. The analysis of chain link is similar to the analysis of closed ring, right? Now we'll solve the problem, then we'll come to know that. Now what is the problem here? A chain link made of 40 mm diameter rod is semicircular at each end. The mean diameter of which is 80 mm. The the straight side of the link length are also equal to 80 mm. If the link carries a load of 90 kN, estimate the tensile compressive stresses in the link along the section of the load line. Also find the stresses at the section 90 degree away from the load line. Now is given what is the type of chord beam is given? Is given is a chain link. Write the chain link in the given data. Write the appropriate sketch for the chain link. Is made of 40 mm diameter of the rod. What is the 40 mm diameter of the rod? The chain link made for 40 mm diameter of the rod. This is small d is given. Is semicircular at each end. Is semicircular at each end. The mean diameter at which is 80 mm. What is the mean diameter means? The distance between the semicircle here. The mean diameter that we call as the D suffix C or dm, that is equal to 80 mm. From this we will get R is equal to RC dc by 2, that is 40 mm. The radius of central radius of the curvature we will get. Now the straight side of the link length are also equal to 80 mm. The straight side of the link length means this is the L is 80 mm is given. If the link carries a load of 90 kN, assume is not given is a tensile or compressive, take it as a, assume it as a tensile. The load is how much? 90 kN. Estimate the tensile and compressive stresses in the link along the section of the load line, that is AA, and also find the stresses at a section 90 degree away from the load line, that is BB. Right, we want to determine the stresses, the maximum stresses induced in the beam. Right, this is read the problem once or twice, write the sketch, then write the given data. Then you go from the figure What are the other data required here? Is given diameter of the rod is given, mean diameter of the semicircle is given, length, the distance between semicircle is given, the load acting on the given. From the figure you can see that I want to calculate Ri and R naught, right? Ri is nothing but, so R inner radius, Ri is nothing but the center is Ri, R minus d by 2. Outer radius is R plus d by 2. Other data, how do you get other data? So here chain link, one more chain link of circular cross section, right? Yes. Now how to get other data? How to calculate RC, RN and remaining. Now once you write the sketch, then below this you can write the redraw the one more time in the sketch and with all the notations RA, RN, RC, R naught, then distance between the central line of curvature and the line of action of force and the centroidal axis. Now here the load line and centroidal of the central line of the curvature is coincide here. Then eccentricity with respect to the centroidal axis at the inner fiber is C1, at outer fiber is C2. With respect to neutral axis, the inner fiber is Ci, outer fiber, the distance between neutral axis and outer fiber is C0. Right? Once you read out, then you go for write the other data. How to get other data? By referring the table 2.7 for circular cross section. Read out the cross section is inner fiber, outer fiber. The diameter of the cross section is D. The centroidal axis is Ca. Then distance from inner fiber to central axis is C. Where you know that capital D is nothing but small d here, 40 mm. Then calculate cross sectional area. Then C is equal to C1. You get 20 mm. Then RC is equal to Ra plus C1, then you get 40 mm. All D is given, that is equal to R, right? For verification, just once again you go for calculate it, right? Next, after calculating RC, then I want to calculate Rn, right? How do you calculate Rn? By referring the table 25.2 for circular cross section. Rn is equal to square root of R0 plus square root of Ra whole square divided by 4. That is equation number 25.60. Now substitute the value of R0 and Ri. We'll get Rn is 37.321 mm. How to verify whether it is right or wrong? Rn is always less than Rc, right? Then calculate the remaining the terms, the Ci, C0, eccentricity, force and length, the distance between line of action of force and the centroidal axis. Now here changes here. Only changes at the bending moment. It's either go for open-ended curved beams, closed-ended curved beams, closed rings or chain links. Only where you are going to change here, only the bending moment occurred here. That formula changes. Be careful about this. Now consider section AA, that is along the load line. We know what is the bending moment by referring the equation 25.76. This is the equation we use. Now where put R is equal to RC 40 mm. Then we'll get the bending moment at A is equal to, now we'll get the positive value 1.4 and 10 to the power of 6. Now is a positive means is a what type of movement here? It is a clockwise movement. Now this couple produces, this is a clockwise couple produces a compressive stress at the inner fiber and tensile stress at the outer fiber. Now how do you get the compressive stress and tensile stress? See that when it produces a clockwise movement, bending moment at A, it produces a clockwise. Now it is tries to bend this beam. Below the neutral axis, what happens here? A compressive stress. Above the neutral axis, am I right? Produces a tensile stresses, right? If the couple produces stresses at inner fiber, compressive stresses at inner fiber and tensile stress at the outer fiber. Now again, from the once we calculate bending moment, then our aim is to determine stresses due to that load, due to this eccentric load that produces. One is direct stress at the cross section, direct stress. Another one is bending moment. But here direct stress is theta is 0, right? Load line at the theta is 0. This direct stress formula you get from 25.72. Theta is 0. The direct stress is 0. Then what is the bending stress here? The bending stress at the inner fiber is, this is the formula we use, bending stress in MB by AE into Ci by Ra. Why we use negative sign? Because at inner fiber, what type of stresses are occurred here? Compressive stresses are occurred. That's why we'll get negative sign. They use in this equation negative sign. Then in substitute and calculate, we'll get minus 360.154 Newton per mm square. This is a compressive stress at inner fiber at section AA. Similarly, bending stress at outer fiber. What is the bending stress at outer fiber at section AA? This is MB by A into C naught by R naught, 25.54. Here, outer fiber, what type of stress here? Tensile stresses are occurred on the fiber. Then you substitute, then you'll get 157.188 Newton per mm square. This is tensile nature. Then our aim is to determine what is the maximum stresses or combined stresses. As you know, the is a summation of direct stress and bending stress. Now direct stress is already 0 at section AA. What is the bending stress at BB is equal to the maximum stresses at this. Now substitute this, you'll get these values, right? Now this completed the section AA. Now what about that? Consider another one, the section BB. Now if you consider section BB, that is 90 degree away from the load line. Now what is the bending moment at BB is, by referring the equation 25.77, write that equation, then substitute R is equal to RC here. Then we will get here negative minus 0.4 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter. Negative movement is nothing but what? Is a counterclockwise movements acting on that section BB. So once it is counterclockwise movements acting on the section BB, see that once it is a counterclockwise movement acting on this on the section BB, what happens is tries to here, see that at outer fiber it is subjected to what? Compressive stress. At inner fiber it's subjected to what? Tensile, right? See that this couple counterclockwise, tensile stresses at the inner fiber and compressive stress at the outer fiber. Now what is this direct stress here? Theta is what? In the theta is nothing but is angle between the line of action of load to the away from that, right? Theta is here, BB is 90 degree away from the line of action of load. The substitute sine 90 is 1, or directly use the direct stress at BB is equal to F by 2A times, so that is a 25.70. Substitute will get the 35.81 Newton per mm is the tensile stress. What is the bending stress at the inner fiber is? At inner fiber undergoes what? It is a tensile in nature, right? MB by AE into CI by RI, 25.55. Use this equation and substitute, will get 102.901 Newton per mm square, tensile in nature. Similarly, bending stress outer fiber undergoes a compressive in nature. Use this equation, then substitute that value. Now we'll get minus 44.91 Newton per mm square. Now our aim is to determine what is the maximum stresses induced or combined stress. As you know, that is sum of direct stress and bending stress. The maximum stresses at inner fiber is, the maximum stresses at inner fiber at section BB is sum of the direct stress at section BB and bending stress at inner fiber at section BB. Now substitute this, you will get 138.711 Newton per mm square is a tensile. Similarly, maximum stresses at outer fiber is, the maximum stress at outer fiber at section BB is equal to sum of direct stress at section BB and bending stress at outer fiber at section BB. Substitute will get negative in nature, minus 9.1 Newton per mm. Now by seeing all this, where we get the maximum stress here? Maximum tensile stress occur at the outer fiber of the section AA. What its value? What its value? It is 157.188, right? The maximum compressive stress occur at the fiber of the section. Maximum stress, compressive stress occur at the inner fiber, right? At the inner fiber of the section BB. What is value at inner section? Maximum compressive stress here minus 360.154 Newton per mm square. Yes, now this completes the curved beams one complete unit, one full question from the module 1. Now from this unit, what we can expect from the exam point of view? You maybe expect one. Yes, from this unit, what we can expect from the exam point of view? One, you can see the difference between the straight beam and curved beam. Second one, maybe the derivation, stresses induced in curved beam. And third one, the problems. The problem, it may be in the open-ended, usually open-ended curved beams that you can expect the problem. In that there are 4 different cases are there. One is you have to determine the stresses induced in the critical cross section of the curved beam. By giving all the data, just to determine what is stresses induced in the curved beam. before that, you just identify the type of chord beam and its dimension, what is the type of cross section, then dimensions of the cross section, what is the load acting on here, it may be eccentric load or bending moment, or it may be what is the material composition. There are 4 varieties of problems are there. One is first determine the stresses induced in the critical cross section by giving all the parameters except the stresses induced. Then second one is determine the maximum load carrying capacity by the curved beam. Then you have to determine what is the maximum load carrying capacity F, and then determine the stresses induced in the curved beam. Then the third variety of problem is determine the cross-sectional dimension and other dimensions of the curved beam, such as for rectangular cross-section B and T or B and H. For circular cross-section, is D. Diameter, other dimensions are RI and R0. Then fourth variety of problem here, if both the extreme fiber stresses are numerically equal in pure bending moment is given, then use this equation. Bending moment stress inner fiber is equal to bending stress at outer fiber. Then equate it, Ci will get C0. Then you go for substitute and then determine what is the value, what is the cross-sectional dimensions, right? Then in that again, if the material of the beam is given, then you refer the chapter number 1 in data handbook volume 1. Take the yield stress or ultimate stress that you consider as a maximum stress. If the directly allowable stress is given, then take that as a maximum stress in the problem. Suppose if the factor safety is given in the problem is a ratio of failure stress by allowable stress, sigma yt by allowable or sigma ut by allowable, then calculate allowable stress that I consider as a maximum stresses. And last one is, suppose if the load is given, eccentric load is given, but what is the section? Critical section is not a horizontal, it is at an angle of theta. With respect to vertical is an angle of theta. Then resolve that force into 2 components. One is resolve that into 2 components. One is along the section and perpendicular section. Then if you want to calculate the direct stress, always you will go for take the force which is acting perpendicular to the section, that is F into sine theta divided by cross sectional area. That is the important thing, you can observe it. Yes, thank you for viewing these lecture videos and hope you understood the unit. If you have any doubt, please call to my number or please put a question in WhatsApp number. Thank you one and all.